Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about chapters 3 and 4 of The Phantom Agent. So, this was really interesting two chapters, and sort of I think they're kind of interconnected. One thing led to the other, so let's just review them together. So, chapter 3, we just got Vivian, our hacker, and someone attacked the casino. So we try to understand who is this. And again, this is one of those books where it's not just a book you will just read lying down and just chilling, but you'll actually have to make quick choices. You'll actually have to pay attention a lot. And just like Wake the Dead, it will feel like you are actually on the spot sometimes. So that's really good. So we see a bartender and we have to notice her hair color and everything. So we'll have to chase her later. And then we'll see another attacker who is wearing a mask. And as per the information, if you see other players' playthroughs, it changes depending on your love interest preference. Meaning, if you have female love interest, it is a female one, and if you have a male love interest, it's a male one. More precisely, depending on your Rowan, like what Rowan you choose, this changes. So that's something really interesting. This is what I've learned from all the playthroughs that are out there. What could this mean though? We don't know yet, because who is this person? And they hide their face in mask. I mean, everybody else is maskless, so why does that person wear that helmet kind of thing? And even they're not the main villain, the main guy. The one with the glasses. They're not the one. So this chapter at first will contain a lot of chasing, fighting. So first of all, we will go our separate ways. We'll still bicker a little with Samaras, which is always fun to have, an interesting dynamic we have here. So we will chase one bartender to the rooftop and we'll have a fight with them. And we can take our glove with us, handy dandy, fancy glove, customized by our very own Vivian. So we can go there and have a fight with the bartender at the rooftop, and we can win it if we have the right choices and if we have the right weapon, which is the glove here. And finally, when we have the bartender captivated, we will go after the masked person, the second assailant, the second attacker, I should say. So we will see that Samara will have Vivian. Samara will try to escort Vivian out of there, but the attacker will get to Samara and will hit her on the head. So that will be a brutal blow with blood and everything. And they will grab our Vivian and try to run away. So we will go first to try to tend to Samara, like how she's doing. And I think this is the moment when, until this moment, Samara and our main character are fighting each other off, are not going to work. But now, what situation did to us, what circumstance did to us, now we got to work together because of the circumstances. So, and we get in the car, we drive it, so we'll have some options to choose. I don't think this will affect how, if you save Vivian or not, because I think it's default you will save Vivian, but still, this will be an epic chase, like, against a public vehicle, sort of like a train or something, I forgot. We will go, and that will also be hacked. So, finally, when the person who was running away with Vivian will see that we were so hard on their trail, they will just throw Vivian out, and we will stop the car. They will run away, but we'll get Vivian. So we'll come back to the hotel room. We'll be pretty shaken up. Vivian is pretty shaken up. But this is quite interesting. I don't know if you, all of you, have read Perfect Match. But there was a character called, I'm forgetting her name. The one with the glasses? The second female love interest other than the main one, Hayden. The one who used to work for Eros and had a dream to work with NASA, sort of like a nerdy. So I get that vibe. Sloan, yeah, I remember that. Jokes on me for not remembering her name. She was such a lovely character there. So Sloan and Lily from Bloodbound, if you might, So she here Vivian reminds me of them. Like, interesting question that even in chapter 4 the banter between the three of us get better within the through comms. That was amazing. So Vivian is pretty shaken up. We tell Vivian to join our force, and Vivian says like her heart can take this much action every day. So we say that you'll just sit in your comfort zone and provide the info, and we'll do the hard work. So Vivian definitely needs some time and we'll give it to them. And throughout this chapter, you'll get to choose some options that will increase your partner score with Samara for sure. So then in a diamond scene, we'll get to tend to Samara's injuries, and get a little close to Samara. So this will be a pretty fun moment. So we'll be sharing all our memories, like what cuts we got, what stitches. Because in our line of work, what we do, the Phantom Agent, we get hit by stuff, we get bit by stuff, we get stabbed by stuff, we get bullet wounds, and a lot of times we don't have the medical attention we need immediately. And to save ourselves, we need to perform some primary stuff, surgeries, and like take the bullet out and stuff like that. The whole cop business you've seen on the movies and stuff. So basically this is we talk about all this stuff, all our other jobs, not by jobs I mean, other chases and everything, and all those other chases, how they were brutal, what cuts we have in our body parts. Samara will show us later. So I think this will be a great moment to bond with Samara and get closer to her. That'll be something interesting. And our main character will continue to flirt, as it was mentioned, we flirt with anything that moves, unquote. So this will be an interesting thing, and then we will again try to the one, Vivian says that she has information on the hacker, so we will try to look through the drive and find stuff, but in vain. But then Vivian will help us because she thinks that she knows how to read this and how to decode this, to be honest, because we're not able to find anything. And she names a hospital's name in France where the attacker is going to attack next. So basically, we know their business. They hack it, get inside everywhere, the system, and they ask for a ransom. If they're not able to meet up with it, they just leave the place to dust in their wake. So we have to go to the hospital and see how can we stop this attacker, and that's in chapter 4. Alright, so in chapter 4, epic stuff happens. Epic. So we are in this hospital, and we have in our comms Vivian, who is working from the comfort zone of the hotel, and she tells us all the things like what do we have to do, and we're with Samara, and we're back in our skit again. What do I mean by that is we are sort of trying to flirt and stuff like that. We have big inflated ego. So, and we are having this banter with Samara. It's pretty amazing. This is quite an interesting dynamic the writers have written up here. So what we do is basically we try to go inside, but then also Vivian will tell us that there is a friendly robot, who can go into the stealth mode and everything. So we can get help from the robot, and it's true that we'll have to spend some diamonds, to get the full experience, but quite an interesting chapter it was. So we first go inside, and there was a nurse, and she won't let you go in without any IDs. You'll try to talk your way through it, but it won't work. So we will go into the locker room, Samara and our main character, to change. And in a diamond scene, you can choose a doctor's outfit, and Samara's outfit will look pretty awesome. I love the way they've designed these and stuff. So, sorry. You can choose the doctor's outfit and still continue bantering. That's just second nature, if not the first nature, to our main character. Like, that's what main character is. And then we come out, and then we try to get in, but the nurse was still stopping us. So we will use some stuff like a little flattery, like how about I buy you a drink after, and stuff like that. Date, and then we'll get in, and then we will need some surgeons IDs and stuff to get inside the main room where all the there's where we need to plant the drive that Vivian gave us to get access to the hospital, so she can be aware of the hackers' attack or when they're going to take over the control of the hospital. So what we do is we go. I went to the surgeon's lounge and I saw a lot of surgeons there, and we can get basically steal one of their IDs in front of them. So I chose the one. Remember from the nanny affair, who was our boss. I'm forgetting his name, but we get to. I personally chose to go with him because he was very angry, and people who are angry and grumpy, it's easier to get things from them. Ivan, if I don't, recall, if I, I'm not messing it up, if I recall it correctly, that's his face from the nanny affair. And I don't know if his face was reused before nanny affair or not, because that's something choices really like to do. But assuming that that was the fresh face in nanny affair, so yeah. Let me know which one you went into. I was thinking to go with the lady one, who was pretty friendly, and there was another nerdy one, who is Danny from Open Heart. But I went with the grumpy one because I think like grumpy ones are always easy in terms of finding these IDs and stuff. It's easy to manipulate them somehow or fool them. You know what I mean? Well, not in a nasty way, but anyway. So we get this, we get back to Samara again. We start gloating like, "Oh, I got it like very fast." Samara says, "No, I got it fast. I've been waiting here," stuff like that. And then go inside the room, and we have to. There we see a lot of stuff. So which one is the one where we need to implant? And you see like there's a tall one, so whenever in doubt, go for the bigger one. Go for the like the tallest one or something like that. Our main character says along those lines, and basically plants the thingy there, the drive, and Vivian gets access, and we are happy. Then we get out, and suddenly things turn south. So the whole hospital lights turn on, turn off, and the monitors flicker, and it shows, yep, our enemy, and it's the one, the hacker, saying that, and even they know that the phantoms are here and we need to stop. So basically, they turn off the whole hospital power supply. So there are lots of people, so their ventilation, or maybe they are, hooked up to important life support machines. So if they turn off, so their life could be in heavily dangerous. So they're asking for a ransom, and if it's not paid by a certain time, the patients will die because the power will return. How did they access it when Vivian had access to it? When we were there to go first. So we thought that we were missing something, so we'll have to go there again. But it's a total chaos in the hospital. The generator turns on, but it's not enough. So, excuse me. So what we do is that we have to go to the room where we planted the drive, and we have to see for ourselves. But then we also have to go to save a patient's life. It was, I think, a bullet injury. So we're not the doctor, real doctor, but we'll still go there. And the nurse will be there. So she will be basically very suspicious of us, but we will hold our composure, and it won't be precisely surgical how we remove the bullet and save the person's life, but we will do it irrespective of that. And then we come out, we talk with Vivian, and we go inside the room, and we see that there's another device that sort of did this. So we basically can remove the device and bring back everything like electricity, power to the hospital, and nobody had to pay any ransom. But that was not just it. We had a meeting with, again, the masked person, and even she addresses her this time, like what she should be called. And again, this time she runs away too. So our main character says to Samara that we will meet with them again, and the better the competition, like a worth competitor for our main character, so it will be fun. But again, the masked person runs away. So who is this person? What is their goal? They're definitely linked with this hacker, but like how did they get in here before us? And it was a solid plan. When we went to the room, we didn't see anything, we just saw as much as they wanted us to see. But ultimately, we saved the hospital. So everything's running well. Then we'll have to go, and then the nurse will stop us and will say like they want to talk with us. So the nurse, she will know that she will ask like what are we, so we can tell them. And basically, we can flirt with the nurse a little bit, and we can have a steamy hookup scene with the nurse. So first fling of this book, um, this phantom agent. This is pretty interesting, just like laws of attraction. So that was an interesting, but I really liked the nurse's character and how she operated. So it was pretty fun overall, this whole chapter. So, and then the scene we have, and after that we make a promise that if we ever come to France, we will definitely visit them. I think that was pretty interesting. I don't know if we're gonna ever see her in this book or in any other book or what, but a new character. I think she was a new design, not a reused face, unlike Lena Reyes from the Laws of Attraction. She was a new face. So pretty interesting, I would say. Low, I think her name was Nurse Low. So there you go, our first hookup scene with the fling here, and then he come out, and we were practically beaming from this, and Samara was really jealous and angry. Like, what were we doing? Like, seriously, we're on a job and we're hooking up with people. Like, that's so. This is pretty, like, I don't know. That's probably the most awkward moment in Choices, when we come out to Samara, outside, and we talk with her. We're convinced with Samara, and then actually she gets to know like what we're up with the nurse. And then throughout the conversation with Com, we will tell Vivian to teach us some hacking skill, will be even cooler. And then Vivian will say something, and Samara will say don't encourage him anymore. So this was a chapter. We saved the hospital, but we have some more stuff to do in the next chapter. We'll have to turn on the stealth mode again, because this time we're going to some dangerous places. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.